Welcome back, guys, to Reality Check, brought to you by Champion Life Ministries. I'm Michael Norwood, and today's topic is, I believe, one that is very important. I think it's very overlooked. I think that people kind of turn a blind eye to it. But today we're going to get down to it, and we're going to really dig into the facts, the truth, and really look at some really disturbing numbers about our immigration crisis. And so today I want to talk to you guys about our immigration disarray. Simply that, our immigration disarray. I believe that, our immigration system right now is so broken and it's so battered to where, it's just so much that goes into the border and so many things that we're going to cover today. And I'm really interested in just like really understanding the thought process behind the Biden-Harris administration and what they think is a safe and secure country, because they keep saying that America's safe and America's safe, but the numbers don't show me that. And I've been researching in a lot of the different websites, and I'm gonna give you them in a little bit that you can go research for yourself. But today, let's dive into the matter, right? The matter is simply current immigration crisis. We're gonna look at the current Biden-Harris administration and their immigration policies. Right, we're gonna dive into those. So, okay, I want to talk about sanctuary cities and public services for illegal immigrants. So I want to read this really quickly. Sanctuary cities were where local authorities limit cooperation with federal immigration enforcement, right? Are numerous across the U.S. Some of the most notable include New York City, Chicago, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and Washington, D.C. These cities often provide undocumented immigrants, or I call them illegal immigrants. They want to call them undocumented, but they're actually called illegals, right? Illegal immigrants, right, with access to services such as free healthcare. Now, there's emphasis free, okay? Free healthcare, education, free housing, right? For instance, New York City has spent nearly $4 billion, okay? $4 billion annually on services for illegal immigrants. Maybe you didn't hear me. New York City has spent $4 billion taxpayer dollars. Okay, taxpayer dollars. This money just doesn't come up from anywhere. Okay, they spent $4 billion dollars on illegal immigrants for free housing, free healthcare, and free education. Okay, and this is annually on services for illegal immigrants, right? And get this, California, which has the highest cost associated with illegal immigration, so they spend the most. Okay, listen to this. California has spent over $30 billion with benefits for illegal immigration, for illegal immigrants. And if you look it up right now, look up California's poverty rate. We've seen pictures and videos of California, and they have these homeless areas filled with tents and just a bunch of homeless people, trash everywhere. San Francisco is destroyed. But they want to spend $30 billion on illegal immigrants. Your taxpayer dollars. I'm sorry, listen, if you live in New York and California, I would be so angry with the government, because they're giving this money to fund people that aren't even Americans. But we have issues that Americans are going through that we need to address before we get to illegal, and so it just baffles me that. And listen, like the number's not even thousands, like $1,000. Okay, I can see it, but billions, not even a million, billions, dude. And my mind is just so blown at this number. How we have these sanctuary cities where illegal immigrants can come into America, and many of them are coming right? Many of them are coming from institutions, right? They're coming from jails, and right, and they're coming in, and we're gonna talk about that a little bit more in depth later. But we have these people coming into America that aren't even vetted. They're not vetted at all. And actually, funny thing, they actually, Harris, right? The Democrat running for president. Kamala Harris, she wants them to become voters. That's why she don't care. She don't care. But again, we'll get more into that later. And so these statistics and these numbers are crazy, right? But these all happened under the Biden-Harris administration. Yeah, I'm gonna say it. So as much as Kamala Harris wants to push herself away from Biden, no, it's called the Biden-Harris administration. Okay? And you're the border czar, and your job was to secure the border. Your job was to secure the United States of America, and you did not do your job. And so you want to say, oh, elect me for president. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. Girl, you've been in office for the past 3.5 freaking years and you've done nothing. So no. Why would I give you a promotion when you've done nothing in a job you already have? You've been in the White House for 3.5 years, but you've made our immigration system nothing. Nothing. It's ridiculous. Straight up ridiculous. And so, I want to look at some recent numbers, right? In the past 4 years, right, 3.5 years, whatever, right? So we're going to look at the illegal immigration under the Biden-Harris administration between 2020 and 2024. Okay, so it says from January 2021 to March 2023, approximately 7.2 million illegal immigrants crossed the U.S. southwest border. Okay, 7.2 million illegal immigrants crossed the southwest border of the U.S. Okay, and that's California all the way to Texas. Okay, California all the way to Texas. Okay, and so this number outpaces the population of 36 U.S. states. You're telling me that you let 36 more states come into America, and we don't even have y'all don't even have the nerve to handle the issues in those states, and it's just ridiculous that these numbers keep getting worse and worse and worse. The administration's policies have led to more releases into the U.S. interior rather than deportations. Okay, with 48.6 of migrants released compared to 52.2 under the Trump administration. Okay, yeah. So Trump deported way more than you have. Talking about you deported, man. And so additionally, the number of gotaways, right, or illegal immigrants, right, who have. So gotaways are illegal immigrants that went around, right, the detection, right, that right, they went around the system, right. They got away from being captured and going through the proper channels, right. And so this number has surged. Gotaways have surged. Okay, so with around 1.6 million recorded between fiscal years 2021 and 2023. Okay, compared to the 521,247 during most of Trump's presidency. Yeah, do you see the comparison? Okay, do you see the comparison between we have 1.6 million and 500,000? Yeah, that's a big difference. That's called competency and strong borders and strong leadership compared to weakness and horrible leadership. That's the difference. That's comparison. Okay, that's the comparison that we have here. 1.6 million gotaways that are now all scattered all over America, and 521,000. Okay. And so I want to talk to you guys about the U.S.-Mexico border. Obviously, this is all about the Mexico border, but I want to really touch on something about this, about U.S. and Mexico in general and their relationship. Okay, so we've seen an increase in border encounters under this administration, the Biden-Harris administration. Okay, and also humanitarian issues. We've seen an increase in humanitarian issues and their lack of doing their job. I'm gonna put it that way. Their lack of doing their job. That's their job, right? Their job is to preserve and protect the United States. That's literally, Biden literally said that under oath when he was during inauguration day, right? When he became president. I will preserve and protect the United States. And is he doing that job? Answer for yourself. And don't lie. Answer questions for yourself. Is Biden-Harris doing a good job for our border and for our immigration system? No. The answer is no. I'll answer for you. The answer is no, they have not. And no, they will not. And just because the election is coming up in about, well, I think it's 38 days, 30 to 39 days. Just because the election is coming up, now they want to, do some action. Now, now Kamala wants to come to the border. That's 3.5 years too late. So no. And America's going to wake up to the act. They're acting like they care because they're scared that they're going to lose against Trump. And they might. We'll see. But human trafficking and drug smuggling, I want to touch on that a little bit. This is a very serious thing. Like, this is not a joke. People think it's a joke. People think this is a freaking joke, and it's not. It's not a joke. Fentanyl is a serious thing. Fentanyl kills lives. Fentanyl has killed lives. Okay? Murders have happened under this administration way more than they've happened under Trump. Why? Because when you have open borders, you're saying, come on in, murderers, come on in, killers, come on in, rapists, come on in, you gangbangers, right? We're saying, come on in and destroy America. That's what you're saying. Yeah. And so this is a message to Kamala Harris. You are not going to have 4 more years of destruction of America. You've done a horrible job, and you should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself. You should be ashamed of yourself that you think that you deserve 4 more years. You deserve to be in jail for the crap that you've done to America. You deserve to be in jail for that. And so let's read this. It says, Biden-Harris administration has faced criticism for policies that have intensified human trafficking and drug smuggling. The lapse of strict border policies, combined with overwhelmed processing facilities, have created conditions where these illegal activities can thrive. Keyword, thrive. And so when the leadership is weak, our weaknesses, right, letting these illegal aliens come into America, they get stronger and they start coming. They start bringing, right, these cartels aren't playing. These cartels see the weakness of Biden and Harris, and they take advantage of America. I don't get, how do you not understand this? People take advantage of weak people. Okay? Weak people. Weak leadership, weak people, incompetent, idiotic people running our country. It's ridiculous. And I don't know how in the world Biden got 81 million votes. Oh, please. Anyway, human trafficking has been a significant concern with many migrants, especially unaccompanied minors, right? Also, being vulnerable to exploitation. During drug smuggling incidents, right, these drug smuggling incidents have also reportedly increased as cartels exploit the chaos at the border. And so it's really horrible for also Mexico too. Mexico, right? We have all of these Mexican, right, people like Mexican migrants, right, coming over, right? So, and listen, some are trying to come over legally. Okay, don't get me wrong. Some are trying to come over legally, but majority of them are not. Okay, when you open the door for 5, 10 people, 20 people, 1,000 people, right? It's gonna keep on coming in. You know what? And actually, I'm gonna go ahead and make this analogy. My mom always told me this: when you open the door a little bit for the enemy, when you give the enemy a one little small crack in the door, open for him, it's gonna swing wide open. But guess what? It's not going to happen at once. It's going to take time. It's going to gradually happen. And then by the end of it, you're going to find out that we have 7.6 million illegal immigrants coming to the United States. Yeah. That's what happens. That's what happens when you have idiotic, stupid people running our country. I'm sorry. It just frustrates me so much that they even allow these Mexican cartels to bring in girls and young men and young boys to America, and bringing them in, selling them, into sex slavery and trafficking and all these other things. It's horrible. And then we have immigrants coming into America. We have them killing young women, right? We have them beating up police officers in New York, and then not being even put in jail for it. Ridiculous. Weak leadership. And so it's just crazy that people don't understand the importance of borders. Without a border, we're not even a country. Not a country. Okay, listen. If that's the case, let's get rid of, all the military departments, Army, Navy SEALs, Marine Corps. Let's get rid of all of them. Let's get rid of the Department of Defense, the Department of Homeland Security. If you're not gonna do your freaking jobs, then you might as well not be here. Yeah, you were created to protect America, protect its citizens, protect the democracy, and protect our freedoms that they fought for a long time ago. That's your job. And there's a couple people that I can point out to. Mayorkas, right? Biden Harris, the presidents. You have the vice president, right? We have these people that we can literally blame for their horrible job and leadership. And so now I want to compare, this to Trump. I want to compare what you just heard to Trump's presidency. So let's look at some highlights. Let's go to a more positive note. I'm sorry, guys. Let's go to a more positive note, guys. Some highlights about the key immigration policies under President Donald J. Trump. The impact of building the border wall under the Trump administration. During the Trump administration, the construction of the border wall system was a significant focus, with about 458 miles of wall built by the end of Trump's term. The wall was designed to include advanced features such as steel walls, barriers up to 30 feet high, enhanced lighting, cameras, sensors, and improved access roads. Okay, this infrastructure was aimed to increase operational control over the border and disrupting criminal activities like drug trafficking and human smuggling. Literally, that was the job of it. Make a good wall that's secure, that's strong, that's tall, so that we can fight back against drug smuggling and human trafficking. In areas where the new border wall was constructed, the impact on border security was notable. It sure was. For instance, in the Yuma sector, illegal entries decreased over 87%. Do you hear that? 87%. Illegal immigration entries decreased 87%. Phenomenal. After the installation of the wall system, similarly, in the San Diego sector, the new barrier reduced the need of Border Patrol agents by 150 personnel per day, reflecting a significant reduction in manpower requirements and a positive return on investment. Come on. That means it was working. That means the system was doing what the system was supposed to do, and it was working very well. And his Trump's policies were flourishing. They were flourishing. They had a good outcome, and it was worth the money. Worth the money. And guess what? Our taxpayer dollars weren't wasted for anything. They were worth something. That's the impact of Trump's border policies. That's the impact of it. Now let's take a look at Trump's Remain in Mexico policy. This is one that's really interesting to me, and I really love it. And so the Remain in Mexico policy, officially known as the Migrant Protection Protocols (MPP), was implemented under the Trump administration. This policy required asylum seekers to stay in Mexico while their U.S. immigration cases were processed. You know, and it's all part of a process, and I'm gonna get to that right when I'm done with this. This is the good stuff. And so, it aimed to reduce the influx of migrants by discouraging fraudulent or people that were seeking asylum that really weren't. They're just lying about it, right? The policy significantly reduced the number of migrants crossing the U.S. border, as they were no longer guaranteed entry into the country upon making an asylum claim. The Biden administration attempted to end the policy, but faced legal challenges that resulted in temporary reinstatement before eventually phased it out. So, okay. Let's just break it down real quickly. Trump had a policy called Remain in Mexico that made it to where people that were seeking asylum, some were legitimately seeking asylum, but some were not. Okay, and so he said, listen, while we process your case to come into America, right? All that stuff. You had to stay in Mexico. Okay, stay in Mexico because it's going to be overwhelming for our border agents. It's going to be overwhelming on our system. It's going to be overwhelming for many of our departments. So stay in Mexico while we get this thing done, okay? And so good old Joseph R. Biden and Kamala Harris, guess what they did? They shut it down. They said, oh, you know what? This good policy. We don't want it, we want people just to come into America as they will, they can walk over the river, walk over the mountain, the desert, whatever. Come on in. We don't care. We don't care that's your, a rapist. We don't care that you're from a prison in Venezuela, right? We don't care, right, that you're eating cats and dogs. And yes, it's true. They are eating cats or dogs. Go look it up for yourself. It's not lies. CNN and MSNBC will say it's a lie, but it's not. Look it up. Be informed. And so, listen. I know I've said a lot. I know we've covered a lot, but I want to be very, very clear about my stance on immigration. Okay, I want to be very, very clear and very blunt about it. I'm all for immigration. I am. I am all for people coming to America for a better life. People coming to America, for a better, life for their family. I'm all for people coming to America for, better job, better finances, better living, better health. All these different things, right? I am all for immigration, but it has to be done legally, though. I want it to be done legally. There's a process to it. There's a process. I'm sorry. It has to be done through a process. And when immigration is done illegally, then you're a criminal. You're a criminal. And so you cannot be here in America. You have to come through in a process. People say, oh, well, Michael, I don't like the process. Dude, everything in life is a process. Going to college is a process. Getting your college degree is a process. Buying a car is a process. Buying a house is a process. Everything in life is a process. Having a baby is a process. Getting married is a process. Everything in life is a process. I'm sorry. It's a process. And we have to do it through a process. That's all Trump wants. That is all Trump wants. He wants people to come to America. We need workers, right? We need diversity, right? We need cultural diversity. We need people to come into America, right? That's what we love that. But it has to be through what? A process. A process. It has to be through a process. It's vital that it's through a process. So I want to look at, the perception of strict enforcement as a deterrent. The Trump administration's strict enforcement policies, including the zero tolerance approach, were perceived as strong deterrents to legal immigration. Public opinion reflected this perception, while many Americans believe that these policies would reduce illegal crossings. People loved it. People supported it. Lawmakers, governors, citizens, residents, American citizens, obviously, I'm going to just make that clear. They loved it, okay? They loved that Trump was strict. Well, again, I'm going to say not all of them did. Obviously, the liberals didn't, and, the Democrats did, they didn't like that. But many Americans loved it, especially the border states, right? The border states. Again, every state's a border state, but the real border states, again, from California to Texas, okay? The administration's actions, such as increasing interior enforcement and implementing the Remain in Mexico policy, right? We just talked about that, right? These were designed to discourage illegal immigration by making it more difficult to enter and stay in the U.S. illegally. So they made enforcements in the interior, right? The FBI went and they found illegal immigrants, right, and deported them. That's what Trump did. Trump deported people. He don't care. He will send you straight back to where you came from. If you didn't do it legally, go back to where you came from. Go back. You're coming through a process. And so this made it difficult because when you have a force, we have another force pushing back the other force, right? Pushing it back. They're going to be like, man, forget it. Forget it. But again, the other side of that, when you have a force trying to come in to America, but there's nobody blocking them, oh yeah, destruction. Anyway, the administration's aggressive stance on border security combined with the physical barrier of the wall was seen by supporters as a crucial factor in deterring illegal immigration. So, but listen, I'm going to be transparent with you guys, okay? I'm going to be totally transparent. However, the effectiveness of these measures were mixed. They were mixed. That's okay. Not everybody loves, making America great again. Not everybody loves, pro-life and pro-family and pro-borders. Not everybody likes it, and that's okay. Not right? Not everybody is pro-gun. That is okay. We understand your frustration and your idiocy. Okay, right? Like some areas, right? We're seeing significant reductions, right, of illegal crossings, while others saw fluctuating numbers, right, depending on various external factors such as economic conditions and legal challenges, right? And so, of course, we're going to come with him with legal challenges and lawsuits. You can't build that wall, whatever, but right? But all this stuff. But in the end, it worked. So these efforts, right, while controversial, underscore the belief held by many that strict border enforcement is essential to turning away illegal immigration. And so just for you to know that my sources, right, from all this information that I just told you guys, is from Homeland Security Reports, Pew Research Center, and Migration Policy Institute. So go listen, guys. Go look up these places. Go look it up. Do your own research. Don't just depend on me. Do your own research. Look at the facts. Look at what's the truth and know what's going on in America. And so now I want to talk about the immigration to comparing Trump and Biden. right? Or Trump and Biden-Harris. I like that because, again, Kamala's trying to run on this stance that she's going to make changes and a new way forward and we have to turn the page, whatever. But we're turning the page on you. So it seems like that you want to turn the page on yourself because you've been in office for the past 3.5 years. Anyway, let's continue. During the Trump administration, there were about 1.37 million Southwest border encounters in a 24-month period, fiscal years 2019 through 2020, with 47.4% of these resulting in deportation. So Trump deported 47.4% of the 1.37 million border encounters. He deported that many of them. Okay. So under Biden, from January 2021 to March 2023, there were over 5 million encounters in just over 26 months. Okay? With 50.9% of these resulting in deportation. And so now I want to talk about court rulings and political challenges to Biden's immigration policies. Biden's immigration approach has faced numerous legal and political challenges. One significant ruling came in 2022 when the Supreme Court upheld the Biden administration's decision to end the Remain in Mexico policy. So we have these Supreme Courts, probably run by Democrats, right? They got rid of Remain in Mexico policy, right? Additionally, the administration's use of Title 47, a pandemic-related public health policy allowing for rapid entrances to the U.S., was limited by courts, right? And so particularly concerning unaccompanied minors. So these legal battles often led to fluctuating immigration policies, contributing to the ongoing challenges at the border. Here's a move. We have a duty to make sure that our borders are secured. We can't allow for Kamala Harris to become president because she's gonna ruin even more than this already has our country. Her and Biden have already ruined it already, but she's gonna ruin it even more. Guys, we cannot have this. We can't have illegal immigrants in Chicago taking over cities in New York. We see that people are speaking up now. kind of late, right? But they're speaking up now and they're saying, listen, why are they getting all this funding and all this money and free housing, free healthcare, when we have plenty of communities that are struggling and hurting and barely making it? One, because gas is high. People having to pay $50, $60, $70 just to fill up their tank. Second, because we have plenty of people that are in poverty, but they want to give millions and billions to illegal immigrants. Third, because we're losing lives. We're losing lives because of the incompetence of the Biden-Harris administration. We're losing people's lives to fentanyl, to rape and murder because of their incompetence in the White House. And I believe that our country is headed down a path that we never should have been on. Never should have been on. And my heart is heavy because we really need to understand that this is not just about today. It's not just about November 5th, guys, but it's about generations to come. What country do you want your kids to be living in? What country do you want your kids to grow up in? What country do you want to leave your kids? What country? What country? And so, we talked about the broken immigration system and the effects that it has nationally on the entire country. And I want to encourage you to stay informed and understand how immigration policies impact both citizens and immigrants. Because listen, I'm not just talking about the safety of Americans. I'm also talking about the safety of immigrants. I am. Because it's illegal immigrants that and immigrants that are coming and being trafficked and also killed by these gangbangers and cartels. So, I want to urge you guys to go out and vote. Listen, go vote. Go vote. Vote for the person that you know, not think, know is good for our border security. That's going to do the job and not visit the border when she has less than 40 days until the election. Yeah. Kamala Harris is not good for the border. She's not good for America. Trump made America great, and they've ruined it in literally a year when they first got in office. And so, we have the opportunity to turn it around. This is our last chance, guys. Our last chance. Turn it around. And so, in conclusion, guys, the broken immigration system under Biden-Harris isn't good for us. The comparison with Trump's administration, it comes to just securing the border and the need for immediate immigration reform. But, I want to end on this note that no matter what happens on November 5th, God is still in control. And God still has the final say. So I want to encourage you guys to go register to vote. You can find the link in our bio on Instagram. And so we want to really encourage you guys to go out and vote. Tell your friends to vote, your family, your loved one, your spouses, anybody you know, go out and vote. I'm not going to tell you who to vote, but from the information that we just talked about, you should know who to vote. You should know who to vote for. So thank you guys for listening to the Immigration to Disarray, brought to you by Champion Life Ministries. This has been Reality Check. See you next time.